Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Caffeinated Crime Show. The case I'm covering today is another case that starts in my home state of Minnesota. I want to give you all a warning that this case is about Sam Nordquist. If you are trans or sensitive to anything relating to the death of trans people, I would suggest saving this video for another time, because the way that Sam died was very, very horrific, and it is difficult to hear and talk about. So I understand if you need to take care of yourself right now. You matter. Now, let's start talking a little bit about where Sam grew up. He grew up in Red Wing, Minnesota, which is in the southeast part of the state. It's a smallish city located on the Mississippi River. They have a population of about 16,547 people as of the 2020 census. The city has a lot of restaurants, stores, music, and art events throughout the year, and it's part of the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area. It's also the county seat for Goodhue County. Sam attended Red Wing High School there and later worked at a group home for disabled adults in Little Canada, Minnesota. He identified as biracial. His mom is white, his dad's black, and he was very close with his mother and siblings. On September 28th, 2024, Sam left Red Wing to go visit his girlfriend in Geneva, New York. His girlfriend was a long-distance girlfriend named Precious Arzwaga. He was only supposed to stay with Precious for 2 weeks, but once he arrived, he decided to stay longer so that he could work on his relationship with Precious. Time passed, and Sam did keep in contact with his family, but they report that they lost contact with him after January 1st of this year. His mother requested wellness checks for Sam leading up to the disappearance, but the Geneva police did not conduct any wellness checks as his mother requested. His mother also noted that his communication leading up to his disappearance became more erratic. It seemed different than usual. She noted that Ontario County Social Services sent an email in December showing that Sam failed to return to their office after speaking to them about the need for an escape plan. On February 9th, 2025, 2 months after Sam's mother started requesting wellness checks for Sam, the New York State Police finally did a check after the family filed a missing persons report with their local law enforcement in Red Wing, Minnesota. The local police forwarded that message to the missing person department at Canadaquia Police that day. And forgive me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I am not, I hope I'm getting it right, but police searched the room he was staying in at Patty's Lodge Motel in Hopewell, Ontario County. Sam and at least one other suspect were reportedly living together in this motel room, and when the police checked, they discovered signs of abuse. And this is the part of the story where things get graphic. On February 14th, 2025, New York State Police Captain Kelly Swift reported in a news conference that there was evidence and statements that suggested that Sam endured prolonged physical and psychological abuse by multiple individuals prior to his death. According to the police reports, Sam was essayed by the suspects with a table leg and a broomstick. They also beat him with sticks, dog toys, ropes, and belts before Sam could succumb to those injuries and the violence and died. They put items inside Sam's anus, forced him to consume urine, feces, tobacco juice, and they poured bleach on him. They also duct taped Sam, hit him, kicked him, starved him, and caused severe dehydration as well. In addition to the 7 adults who tortured Sam, they also included 2 children they knew in his torture. Precious Arzwaga brought a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old with her. And according to the reports, these children were forced to help torture Sam. The abuse reportedly went on from December 2024 until February 2025. Human remains believed to belong to Sam were found in Yates County in a field on February 13th. This is about 50 miles or 80 kilometers from southeast of Rochester, New York. According to police, the suspects moved Sam's body in order to conceal the crime. Captain Swift said that this was one of the most horrific crimes that she had investigated in her law enforcement career. The date of death has been reported as February 2nd, 2025. 7 people, as of right now, the 7 people who committed this crime were arrested in the murder and torture of Sam Nordquist. Precious Arzwaga, age 38, and her son, Thomas Eves, 21, Jennifer A. Quijano, 30, Kyle Sage, 33, Patrick A. Goodwin, 30, and Emily Motaika, 19, and Kimberly L. Sochi, 29. Records show that Patrick Goodwin is a registered sex offender and that he and Kyle Sage were both on parole from previous sexually related crimes. It is believed that some of these people were also romantically involved with each other. Goodwin also lived in another room at Patty's Lodge at the time. At some point, they all ended up in room 22, where Sam was staying. Assistant District Attorney Kelly Wolford said that the alleged coercion of 2 children to participate in the torture of Sam was one of the more troubling parts of the investigation. The suspects are all being represented by the Office of the Ontario County Conflict Defender. Patty's Lodge Motel is not being investigated for any wrongdoing. Wolford stated during her interview that there have not been any witnesses who reported Sam's torture and murder. It has been said that Patty's Lodge is more like a long-term housing area and that people do live there full-time. Sam's mother, Linda, stated in an interview with NBC News that she believes Sam's death would have been preventable if local authorities had done their jobs, meaning that they did not follow through on the wellness checks requested by Sam's mother. And while I want to remain as unbiased as possible when I'm talking about these cases, I 100% agree with Sam's mother on this. I feel like he would still be alive if law enforcement had done their job. Sam's mom requested 2 wellness checks on her son, as I said, but after New York authorities did not help her, she filed that missing persons report with her local law enforcement. According to the NBC News article, the Ontario County Department of Human Services has not returned multiple requests for comment. They also, according to Sam's mom, did not follow through on checking on Sam after he requested help due to feeling scared about the situation that he was in. Wolford declined to comment when asked if social services were aware that Sam was being controlled by the suspects, as was suggested by his family. A quote from an NPR article released on Wednesday, March 12, 2025, stated, "The 7 people charged with torturing and killing Minnesota native Sam Nordquist in New York State pled not guilty during court appearances on Tuesday. The suspects face charges including kidnapping and first-degree murder. WHAM TV reports they remain in custody without bail pending their next court hearing in May." Since the next court hearing for these 7 people is in May, I will be keeping a close eye on what happens between now and then, and will be watching for sentencing. At this time, this is the information that I have available about the trial of these seven people. And I want to send out my deepest condolences to Sam's family. I can't imagine what they must be going through. I'm sure that they will be mourning Sam's death for a very long time. If you're interested in helping support Sam and other trans people, or if you feel like you need help as well, you can contact the Trans Lifeline by calling 877-565-8860, by using resources through the Trevor Project, or by following the link that I'll list below to the American Bar Association's website for even more resources that they have listed that can help people. I'll leave any descriptions for sources for the NBC article I used and the NPR, Minnesota Public Radio article that I researched as well. Please take care of yourselves. Look out for each other, and come back next Friday. I will be posting my video about the murder of Emily Pike. She was the young Arizona Apache teenager that went missing and murdered this year. I'm going to be talking about several young Indigenous people who've been taken over the past few months, because I feel really strongly that we need to keep talking about missing and murdered Indigenous people. We are in a millennium scoop right now, and Indigenous people, even when they are a small population in their state, they are 80% in some places of the people who get kidnapped and killed. So come back next week. Thank you all for watching, and take care of yourselves.